So today's video is all about how to take simple cuttings of Persicaria. Now, if you didn't know, Persicaria is a perennial plant that comes back each year, and it really does have an exotic vibe to it. There's two main varieties that I have here in my garden. One is Night Dragon and the other is Purple Fantasy. And these couldn't be simpler to take cuttings of, but just before we get into that, we're going to go through a little bit information about this plant. So I grow this here in the UK, and it's a colder climate, and they are super tough. They are actually in the knotweed family, so you do need to be prepared to manage it. If they're in pots, then you're going to keep the root systems contained, right? So they're going to be a lot easier to manage. But if you plant them out in the garden, then please be prepared for them to spread. So always be mindful of neighbours and things like that. So where you're planting them, make sure they can't escape past your boundaries, just because it's quite neighbourly, right? Now, these are not a fussy plant when they get bigger. Now, I did have a couple of mother plants that I actually lost in the winter due to them being too small, and I left them outside. Okay, so bear that in mind when you're planting them up. It's worth keeping them sheltered if they are small. But obviously in the spring and the small, you can get them out and they will size up really, really quickly. Now, there's something called a Chelsea chop. So when they do start getting quite large and almost not unmanageable, but you're thinking, what can I do with this? You can simply take shears to them and cut them in half. Now, what you want to do with those trimmings is we're going to turn them into cuttings, and I'm going to show you how to do that today. So just over a week ago, I went ahead and I took some cuttings from my Persicaria, both varieties, and what I did is I did 2 to 3 stems of each, right? So all I did is cut them off to a leaf node with a nice sharp pair of scissors. And it's always really important for good plant hygiene that we either pop a little bit of bleach just on the scissors or knife itself, or hydrogen peroxide, the food grade hydrogen peroxide is really good for keeping all them bits and bobs clean, right? So that's a really good tip for any cuttings in the garden. It just keeps nasty stuff out of your garden. So I went ahead, I cut it just below a leaf node. Now, a leaf node is where all the hormone sits. Now, a lot of people add hormone rooting powder. This isn't a plant that you need to do that. All I did, dropped it straight into water and created some air roots. Air roots are a little bit different, or water roots are a little bit different to the roots that you get when you actually pot them up within compost, but eventually they kind of make the same kind of root, right? So I'm going to show you some that I just took just over 1 week ago, and these are actually okay to plant up just now. I'm actually going to give them another week just to get them a little bit taller for the roots, but as you can see, they start growing their own root system. So what I'm going to do here, between this leaf node here and that one there, now this one is worth noting, that was sitting just on top of the water, so this has reached down for the moisture, whereas this was actually submerged. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to chop it back to there. So we're going to lose this big piece so the plant can forget trying to keep that alive, and it's going to concentrate on getting them roots that little bit bigger. So they are going to go into a multi-purpose compost in a very small pot. You don't need a big pot, and that is it. That is simply it. So you've got your own Persicaria plant for free. And just to show you the other variety, again, nothing on the bottom, but just here, just where the water meets the plant, you've got your own roots coming. So like I say, they can go in now. I'm going to give them another week. Just make sure the water is nice and clean and it doesn't run out. So this Persicaria cutting video is going to be added to my playlist, so be sure to go and check that out, where I've got a few good how-to videos gathering some momentum here on the channel. But if you did like it, then please give it a big thumbs up, as it really does help the channel out. And drop a comment down below, as it helps share it out to others who love gardening just like we do. Any questions, drop down below. let me know if you're going to try this method on your plants at home. Until next time, we'll see you in the garden. Take care, guys.